Hi everybody, I am back this week working on my sculpture. Some people have been asking me when she's going to get a name. I usually don't name my sculptures until they're completely finished or like really close, because that's kind of when their personalities really reveal themselves. Yeah, but so I'm working on her shoulders and head and kind of just doing that last final push to get this sculpture finished. I decided that I wanted to carry this negative space up further, and so I've added this hollow pipe into her throat, which I think is kind of powerful too, because it's like she's lost her voice, you know. But I'm enjoying it. I think it's fun. We'll see if it ends up looking good when it's all finished, you know. I can always fill it back up if not, but I thought it would be a fun experiment. And yeah, so basically I'm just taking and wrapping window screen and this other mesh material that I had on hand around her neck and shoulders, and I put in this little pipe, and now I'm ready to sculpt over the top. So here we go. Alright, so I guess I didn't get all of that on film. My phone battery was a lot lower than I thought it was, and so I guess it just stopped filming right in the middle. But yeah, basically what I've done here is I've put some Easy Sculpt epoxy over her neck and shoulders. I've got 4 different kinds of epoxy on this piece now, actually. I've got the Flex, which is on, you know, against all the bare metal. I've got the Easy Carve in white. And then we've got this Easy Sculpt, and we also have some 307 Light, which is the brown one, which is kind of up here on her hands and stuff. Yeah, but I've done that before, you know, put different epoxies together. Like, you don't want to mix them up, but, you know, just having them next to each other is fine. Yeah, so I've gone ahead and added all that texture with my paintbrush and my little scrubby deal. And then I still have like some little pieces of window screen sticking out here. So basically what I'm going to do now is just take a sander and just really lightly like sand all that off so that it's not sticking out and poking people. There's a few places I need to even up here and just grind some of that away. And again, you know, you're definitely going to want to wear a respirator anytime you grind on anything, but especially this epoxy, because you know, it's essentially like a plastic or a resin, something like that. You know, it's a chemical, so you don't want to breathe it. Yeah, but that's pretty much what's happening now. This is all dry, and I'm just going to kind of sand that down so that it doesn't poke people and even it up a little bit. And then it's going to be time to do her hair, which I'm excited about. So yeah, let's get started. So I think I decided that I want to do her braids a little bit differently. So what I've done in the past is I've actually just braided the epoxy without any kind of like armature or anything under it. But I want to give her some really long braids, and so I think it'd be better to have something inside just so that the epoxy will go a little further. And so what I'm going to do is I have these like tassel things. Got a couple of these, and I'm going to actually use them as a starting point. And I'm going to wrap them in epoxy and yeah, just basically coat the whole rope in epoxy and braid it, which I know there's only 2 right now. I'm going to cut another length of rope, and that's what's going to happen. So yeah, I think her hair, I think I'm going to do it kind of like this. So she'll have some really long braids, a little bit of asymmetry going, and then I'll just build the rest of her hair to kind of go into that, maybe in like a French braid or something back here. Yeah, so that's the plan. Alright, so I finished braiding my sculpture's hair. It went really well. Having these ropes on the inside has really given it a lot of good strength, and it made it a lot easier to braid, because when you're building really long braids you have to make really long coils and they end up breaking in the middle a lot of the time. So having that rope underneath really helped that to not happen and just gave it some extra structure. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to do that from now on, do it that way, at least on my large sculptures. And yeah, I'm really almost finished with this piece. I've done a lot of evening up in her face, like you saw in the video. And basically what I need to do now is, after I let this all cure up, I'm going to put her out in the sun and go through and just mark areas where she needs to be evened up a little bit. And I've found that that's really the best way to do it, because that really harsh sunlight just kind of puts everything into relief and it casts the shadows, so you can see kind of where you might have a little too much material or not quite enough. So I'm going to do that, even her all up, and then she'll be ready for some paint. So I'm really excited. I'm almost finished with this piece. And yeah, thank you guys for joining me on this artistic journey, and I hope you all have an amazing weekend. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.